Every voice carries a story, and every story deserves to be heard. Communication is not about speaking more, it is about being heard. In academic and professional spaces, ideas often do fail. It's not because they lack depth, but because they lack clarity at the very beginning. Let me begin with a real life moment many of you may already know. It was a moment in the year 2007 when Steve Jobs walked onto the stage to introduce the iPhone. The world expected a technical presentation. Most people assumed he would begin with specifications, features, and data. But what actually happened? He did something unexpected. Let's watch a short clip from the historic presentation.
Three things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not three separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
Have you noticed what happened? He didn't begin with specifications. He didn't show slides filled with technical details. Instead, he began with a story. He told the audience that Apple was introducing three revolutionary products. One is a music player, a phone, and an internet communication device. Naturally, the audience assumed these were three separate devices. Then he paused and revealed something remarkable. All three were actually one single device. What we just witnessed is not only a product launch, it is a powerful example of how an effective beginning can capture the attention of the audience and shape the entire presentation. He started the presentation with a big idea, not with details such as RAM, processor, battery. He spoke about why this product matters. He structured it like a story. He began with a problem, and he built suspense in the middle of the presentation and suggested a solution at the end. Coming to language, he used a very simple language with short sentences, quite familiar words, and no jargon at all. He got connected to the audience emotionally by building curiosity, surprise, and excitement. The audience understood the idea even before they see the technology. This is exactly what an academic presentation should do. Make the audience care before making them think. If a global technology leader could transform the world with such a powerful opening, imagine what a strong beginning can do for your classroom presentations, seminars, and academic conferences. This is exactly what today's lecture focuses on: opening strong, techniques for effective presentations. Welcome. I am Dr. Sudha Devi from the Department of English. In this video lecture, we will explore a few techniques that can help you begin any presentation clearly, confidently, and effectively. Very often, the success of a presentation is decided in its first few moments. The good news is that a strong opening is not a mysterious talent reserved for great speakers. It is a skill that anyone can learn and practice. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss 5 different techniques that we can use in order to start your presentation effectively. and I am going to demonstrate each of those techniques with a simple example so that you can immediately apply them in your seminars, classroom presentations, and conference talks. Let us begin with the first technique. The first technique is opening your presentation with a short story or an anecdote. Stories are powerful because they immediately capture the attention and help the audience connect with the ideas that you're going to present. Let me now demonstrate how this works. Imagine beginning a presentation like this. Two people were asked to stand near a window and look outside for a few minutes. After a while, they were asked to describe what they saw. The first person said, "I saw only dry leaves scattered everywhere, damp ground, and an overcrowded street filled with too many vehicles." The second person described, "I saw green leaves on the trees, soft rain-kissed ground, and a lively street full of people and colorful vehicles." Both individuals looked at the same place, yet they saw completely different things. What made the difference? It wasn't the environment. It was their attitude. And that leads us directly to the topic of the presentation. Attitude is everything. How we see situations, how we interpret them, and how we respond to them are all shaped by our attitude. Notice what happened here. Instead of starting with definitions or explanations, the presentation began with a short story. The story made the audience curious, helped them visualize the situation, and prepared them to understand the message. This is why beginning with a short anecdote can be a powerful way to introduce your presentation topic. A simple story can make your audience listen, imagine, and connect before you even begin explaining your ideas. You might have seen people beginning a presentation with a question, a rhetorical or thought-provoking question. A thoughtful question immediately engages the audience because it invites them to think. Instead of passively listening, the audience become mentally involved in the topic. Let me demonstrate how this technique works. Imagine you're giving a presentation on the topic, how to manage stress. Instead of starting with the definitions or statistics, you could begin like this. Have you ever wondered why we rarely pause to look at and appreciate the simple things around us? And why is it that in today's fast-paced world, so many people feel constantly stressed and overwhelmed? What are the factors that are making our lives so stressful? These questions immediately make the audience reflect on their own experiences. Even before the presentation begins, the audience starts thinking about the problem. And that naturally leads us to the topic of the presentation, how to manage stress. Notice what happened here? The presentation did not begin with information. It began with questions that encourage the audience to think. When the audience starts thinking, they become more interested in listening to the answers. This is why beginning with thoughtful questions can be a very effective technique. A well-chosen question captures attention, stimulates curiosity, and prepares the audience for the ideas that follow. We have now explored two powerful ways to begin a presentation, either starting with a story or an anecdote, and also beginning with a thought-provoking question. Both techniques do one important thing. They make the audience pause, think, and connect with your topic. And that is the essence of a strong beginning. Because before an audience understands your ideas, They must be willing to listen to you. In the next part of this lecture, we will explore 3 more effective techniques. How to begin with a powerful quotation, a striking statistic, and a compelling problem or challenge. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to continuing this discussion in part 2. Thank you once again.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.